So Picher isn't the only abandoned town that used to be here. There's also a town called Treece, Kansas, which was, I should say, right down the road back there. But here's a marker explaining the history of Treece, Kansas, and this is dedicated to the former residents of the small town. You know, it's been a while since I've been to Picher, Oklahoma. I drove down here back in, I want to say, 2012 or 2013, just out of curiosity. Yeah, it was crazy like that. I lived in Indianapolis. This was before I made YouTube videos, and I drove here all the way from Indianapolis to check out this place. I saw it online. I think I was probably browsing on Google Earth because I did that a lot, and I saw an abandoned town here, and so I came here, and I found it to be quite fascinating. So here I am again, about 10 years later. Let's check it out. So from here we start things out by heading west from an intersection with US 69, which is the main route through this area, and it also serves as the main street for Picher. Just south of here is the state line with Oklahoma, but we're heading west, in which we're passing by a sand and gravel pit. When I was here during the morning of, I was here really early in the morning, and then I came back 2 hours later, which is the time that you're seeing right now. But throughout the entire morning, there were dump trucks heading in and out of this sand and gravel lot, I will call it. But they were heading out of here like no other. There were so many of them barreling through, not just through here, but also through what used to be the city of Picher. But down there, they were hauling off the chat piles, what was left of them. They were just loading up the dump trucks and hauling them off somewhere, in which I still haven't been able to figure out where they are sending this chat. But yes, we're heading west, and soon we're going to be passing by what used to be the city of Treece, Kansas, and then we're going to kind of loop around on some county roads before heading back east on the state line, and then we'll head south into Picher. That's just the route that I took. But along this route, especially when we're driving through some of the remote county road looking stretches of road, there's actually piles of chat all the way out there too, away from the main town of Picher and away from the main town of Treece. It looks like a lot of these piles out in the more remote areas have already been cleaned up, where they used to look like the ones do in Picher right now. And really quick, if you haven't yet seen my main video on Picher, you might want to watch that one first before you watch this one, because a lot of this will make more sense after watching that first video on Picher. In that video, I'm a lot more descriptive, and I talk about what happened here. I talk about the chat piles and why they're so high. I talk about the cave-ins that the area has become infamous for, and that's a big reason why there are so many ghost towns in this area around Picher. But yeah, check that video out if you haven't watched that one yet, and then you can come back to this one if you want to see more of what this area looks like, because that's what this video that you're watching right here is for, is to see what more of the area looks like. This is a second video, or a complimentary video, I guess you could say, to my main video that I made on Picher. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed these types of videos right here, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Also, make sure to hit that like button and comment, as doing those things helps these videos destroy the evil monster that is the YouTube algorithm, and it's much appreciated by me. So, if you have done that, thank you so very much. So on the north side of the road that I'm about to turn onto, which would be to the right once I complete the turn, is the abandoned town of Captain, Kansas. Or maybe it was nothing more than a mining camp back in the day, but it's a spot on the map and it is no longer there, and this is where Captain, Kansas used to be. There's really not much information on the internet about Captain, Kansas. So I'm basing my assumption of this place being a former mining camp off of other information that I found while researching on the area. Interestingly enough, there's a chat pile here, a rather large one, and it looks like a lot of it has been cleared out at this point, and it used to be a lot taller than it is now, but that explains this place being a former mining camp. Sort of, right? And on the north side of the road, which is to the left, you have what used to be connecting streets to this main road from the city that was Treece, Kansas. So basically, we're on the other side of Treece, Kansas from where we were before, if that makes sense. We kind of just did a full circle around some country dirt roads, and now we're on the south end of Treece. And as you can see with the graphics down below, this is technically the state line. Really thought about flying my drone where I am right now. Really thought about it. Turned the drone on and everything, but my instinct tells me to just keep going. I already got my drone shots of the ghost town of Treece, Kansas. I already got it. Don't need any drama to slow me down. Gotta keep going.
What are you doing?
Flying a drone.
Huh?
Flying a drone.
Why?
Because I'm making a video.
Well, you're on my property.
This is public right here. This is a road.
Yeah, well,
I'm not going in there.
get a hold of Marshall over there and see if you got authorization to be on football property.
Go for it. More of that hijinks and hilarity on an upcoming video that I'll have on Route 66, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, you guessed it, more chat piles on both the left and right sides of this road as we head south into what used to be Picher. This road ends up leading right towards the old high school building in Picher. So here's the old Picher High School building, and to see a continuation on this footage, make sure to once again check out my main video on Picher on my main channel. Once again, you probably should have watched that one first if you're interested in seeing what this one is all about. But anyway, I will now shortly transition to footage that I shot from December of the same year. So this was from early September, but I came back in December, and I actually came back during the week that I uploaded the video so that I could include the ghost town of Harden in my video on Picher. I actually thought that I had covered everything that there was to cover when I was back here in September, but nope. So I drove all the way back down here in December, and before we transition to that footage, I have this that I would like to share with you. You know, sometimes when you're a travel YouTuber, the job requires for you to rent a Toyota 4Runner and drive 13 hours away to get enough footage to complete a video. Sometimes you have to do that. And then you have to drive 13 hours back. Oh, and by the way, this is all during the same week that I plan on uploading this video, so... Oh, and by the way, this is all during the same week that I plan on uploading this video. It is Tuesday, and I want this video up on Friday. So 13 hours back all day today, and then the rest of the work on Wednesday and Thursday. So if you think us YouTubers are lazy and don't work, and you just think we're a bunch of lazy Mountain Dew drinking hill jacks, yeah, screw you. What I really wanted to do with all of this was just leave you a positive message for the holidays. So, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Anyway, right behind me is another ghost town in this little trio cluster of ghost towns near the Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri border. This one is Harden. Yep, that's right. Drove all the way down to Picher, Oklahoma and back from where I live, which is about a 13-hour drive both ways. It was 12 hours back. It was 14 hours on the way, but that's probably because I stopped in Joplin and got a hotel and ended up driving around Joplin at night for, I'm not kidding you, about 40 minutes when the only stores open are gas stations, but I was looking for a case for my contact lenses because I left mine at home, of course. So yeah, that was a real story. And it just added to the already stressful road trip that I was making on the spot. If you couldn't tell, I didn't want to be out there in the first place. I was a little bit salty that I had to go all the way down and back on the week before Christmas when I knew that I was going to be driving elsewhere to spend the holiday with family. And it was just a really hectic week, to say the least. But the video got uploaded, and I got my footage, and everything's all good and dandy. So yes, this is all of the footage that I captured on that day in December. Now, if you've seen my main video on Picher already, some of this will be repetitive to you, but here it is nonetheless. And lastly, we're going to switch back to some footage that I shot back in early September when I came through. And this will be all of the footage that I left out from that trip when I continued to drive around Picher, so you can see even more of what the ghost town of Picher looks like. All right, well, I do end the video right where I began the video, on US 69 near the Kansas and Oklahoma border, near the memorial that was put here for the now extinct town of Treece. Well, do me a favor, as if you enjoyed this video and if you hung around long enough to hear this final message, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the evil monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos with amazing insights on other places like what you saw here can be found in my Ghost Towns playlist, my Oklahoma playlist, my Kansas playlist, or in my USA Small Towns playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. We'll see you next time. Peace. Treece. Peace. Treece, Kansas. Peace. Treece. Rest in peace. Treece.